Hello everyone, this is Abdullah Shami with you, and today we are going for the recorded lecture. And today we are going to initiate some discussion related to the camera. Uh, Whenever you are going to make any shot composition, and whenever you want any shot and you want to do a video, you must need to go through, as far as a camera is concerned, you need to go through with three basic elements. That is all about number one is your angle, number two is your shot, number three is all about your movement. uh, I'm just going to initiate the discussion with the angles, then we are moving forward with the shot, and then we move to movement. Okay. uh, Number one is all about your angle. The basic thing is all about, whenever we are going for the any to create any video and we are going for any shot or scene, there is a situation we need to utilize, and we need to choose our shot angles or any movement as per the situation, because we are going to portray our story with the help of our shot, with the help of our camera actually. So we need, as far as this camera angle is concerned, we actually, each and every angle is going to show something related to the story. Okay. Moving forward, number one, we are going to talk about the angles of the shot, angles of the camera. Number one, we discuss about the idea of high angle, high level, and low angle. It's a very simple thing. If whenever you want to show something as inferior, you are going for the high angle, because whenever you are seeing something from this point of view, it means once you are seeing something downward, so the look is a little bit inferior. Just like a once you are seeing something from the building, everything look inferior. So whenever you want to show something, some character inferior, then you are going for the high angle. Then for the normal condition, you are going to use angle of the eye level angle. And another angle is all about what, low level angle. Whenever you want to show something superior, you are going for the low angle shot. Okay. So these are the basic angles. Okay. There are some slanted angles also, and we'll discuss it later on. So the basic thing is all about the basic angles. There are three basic angles to show something. Okay. And afterwards, we need to go for some shots. Okay. We need to decide our shot, which shot we are going. We are going for the big close up, we are going for the big or extreme close up, big close up, we are going for the mid close up, or we are going for the mid shot, or we are going for the long shot, or we are going for the master shot, or we are going for the two shot. So these all are the shot variations. Whenever you want to show something superior, whenever you want to show some expressions, let's suppose you want to show some tears, or you want to show some smile, or something very and you want to focus, you want to create a focus towards particular object. So you want to go for the extreme close up. So extreme close up is, let's suppose you are developing a shot of an eye, and for some expressions, facial expression, you are going for the close-ups. Okay. Till my chin, and afterwards there is a mid close-up till my shoulders. Once you are covering some shoulders, that's all about the mid close-up. Okay. And afterwards you can use the mid shot as one of the popular shot till the waistline. And afterwards there is a long shot where you can capture the head to toe image. Okay. So and afterwards there are some two shots when you want to show some two characters. There are some aerial shots also, and there are some establishing shots also, because the aerial shot and establishing shots are very important. Sometimes you are going for the establishing shot also. Establishing shot could be the a building shot, or could be a sunrise or sunset shot. That shot is going to establish a story. Let's suppose if you are there's a story out going out there, and you use an establishing shot of sunrise, and you can write down over there that 10 years later. What is this all about? This is all about that that particular shot create an image that you are moving 10 years later, and this story is all about after 10 years. So this is all about it. So sometimes these shots are very important. Right now, first I want to share one thing with you. Right now I'm just going to give you some description about these shots, and afterwards I will share some diagrams with you, and I will share some videos with you in our next class. Okay. In the next class I will share a lot of videos with you, and I will share some diagrams so to understand these things. Okay. So right today we are just going for the basic description of these shots. Okay. So we discussed the idea of shots. There are as I discussed it earlier, that each and every shot is going to describe something. It's all about the, actually director use this language to portray anything. Later on we'll discuss about the media language, what is the media language and how to use it. So we'll discuss it later, but first we need to understand about the basic components of the camera. The angle, number two, is all about shot. So establishing shots are very important. Sometimes to create a superior image, you are going for the low angle for the establishing shot of a building. That shows that this thing is very important. Let's suppose, and sometime you are going for the aerial shot also. For some time we are going to for the aerial view. Let's suppose if I'm going to say this thing, let's suppose there is a documentary. Let's suppose Karachi. The narration is this: Karachi, city of lights. First, I use the word Karachi. For the Karachi, I need to go for the establishing shot. It could be an aerial shot of a Karachi. The people are moving in here and there. I can take a shot of Sharaf Asal, that the cars are moving here and there. City of lights, and I can see this thing. Now I can go for the particular shots of streets and particular thing. So sometime we need to use this shot also. Let's suppose if whenever we are going for the any, let's suppose. We are, let's a lot of short films are based on, let's suppose if I'm going to share the story of Dubai. Let's suppose Dubai, the story based in Dubai. Let's suppose if a short film story is based in Dubai, so I can go for the aerial shot, high rise shot. Okay, it's not necessary that I'm going for the high rise shot. I can just take the shot of a buildings in Dubai. Let's suppose I can take a picture of I can take a shot of a New Dubai buildings, and that shot, and I write it down over there, Dubai 2020. Okay, so now the story, this thing establishes this thing. This shot establishes the idea that this story is based in Dubai. The whole scenario is in Dubai, and we need to discuss this. Okay, so and afterwards, this is then the angle and shot is one of the most primary elements in any sort of production. Okay, and afterwards, for any, you can say the secondary element, or you can say one of the and the little difficult phase of your production is all about the camera movement. Okay, so the camera movement is very important thing. It establishes multiple things. Okay, uh, I never suggest you guys to use the handheld camera movement. Okay, handheld movement is also always is not a good idea, because there is a movement in our hands, there's a natural movement in our hands that create a negative impact on our shot, and we can stabilize that particular shot. We can destabilization, we can stabilize that in destabilization, but it will be a little difficult. And the second thing is, at some level we can stabilize that thing. In each and every shot we can't do so. So I'll never suggest you guys to use the handheld shots. Then you always use the tripod for any filmmaking. If you're using mobile camera also, you can use the tripod. It's a good idea, so it would be a good thing for you guys. So I always suggest you to go for this. And the second very important thing, the camera movement is a difficult game. Okay, why is it is a difficult game? Because you need to apply some equipment for it, for this purpose, and this is one of the most difficult part, and you need to plan each and every shot. Actually, whenever you are going for the movement from point A to point B, so you need to plan light for that purpose. Okay, we'll discuss the later how to make the light and everything. You need to establish the whole lighting plan. You need to make the whole lighting plan. Let's suppose you need to go for this. Let's suppose our object is moving from point A to point B. I am going for the dolly shot from this point to this point. So what is going to be happen? This shot, the light for the whole area should be covered. The whole area should be lit. Otherwise, there's a jump within the shot. There's a light jump. Okay. So let's suppose, and sometimes the secondary problem is very important. Let's suppose if your character is coming from inside to outside. Let's suppose indoor to the outdoor. For your character is moving from indoor to the outdoor. Let's suppose your character is in the drawing room and he's coming out of the place and he's coming outdoor. So there's a big problem is the you can see the natural lighting. Okay, as far as natural lighting is concerned, it will be difficult to manage that particular thing. You are moving with the Steadicam shot. When you are, let's suppose Steadicam is just like a device you steady the camera when the cameraman is moving. So I will show it with you. I will definitely share the pictures and videos of that particular thing. But we need to understand this thing. Once your camera is coming out of from indoor to the outdoor, what will happen? You need to change the ISO settings, you need to change a lot of settings, you need to change the aperture also. We'll discuss what it means. In simple words, we need to change in the brightness setting. Okay, uh, let's suppose a camera is capturing more light within the outdoor, okay, because we need to show the more brightness. But as far as outdoor is concerned, as far as the camera is showing more light within the indoors, and as far as the outdoor is concerned, if you are going with the similar settings, everything will be white within the frame. So it is also a problem. So sometimes there are some internal issues, light issues, so that's why the movement is always a difficult element, and that's why we don't suggest for the beginners to have a camera movement. It's a very good thing for the frame, but initial level, don't go for this, and afterwards, once you are good with the camera angle and movement, then go for the movement side, then camera angle and shots, and then go for the, if you're good with the camera angle and shots, then go for the movement size, no problem with me. Okay, so as far as the camera movement is concerned, the core movement is all about the tilt movement, the tilt up, tilt down, the pan movement, horizontal movement. Okay, you can go with the tripod also. For this type of movement, you can go with the tripod. There's a you can hold the tripod and move here and there. Once you are moving here and there, it means you will be able to for the pan, and for this purpose, once you are holding up and down, it means that the camera is moving tilt up and tilt down. Okay, moving forward, as far as the another movement is concerned, there are some equipment which is called dolly. I will share the picture with you in my next class. I will share, just remind me, I will share the picture of dolly, and there is a track out there, the track movement. Within the dolly, the cameraman is in the dolly, and the camera is moving with the cameraman. Okay, so as far as track is concerned, only the tripod is placed on the track, and you can move here and there. There are some automatic tracks also. You can say that they have a motor in them, so you can move with that. Okay, another camera movement is all about Steadicam. Steadicam is a camera which you can see in a lot of Mehndi functions. You can see that a person is having a hold. There's a person is having a jacket, and that person is holding some iron rods and moving the camera with him. So that shot is very important, because that you can run with the camera, but that machine is going to steady your image. So this is a very important thing. I have some there are some, the gimbals are also used. Okay, I have some gimbals also. I will share it with you. So gimbals are also used for this purpose. The gimbal is a similar device, or so you can say a similar rods, who with the help of magnetic system, they used to study the image. So, okay, so whenever you are running out there, I will share some visuals with you, which I shoot for this purpose. Okay, so this is all about the understanding of this. Okay, we discuss about the pan, tilt, track, dolly, and we discuss about the Steadicam, and we need to discuss one more thing, that is all about crane. The crane main movement is this. When you are going for like this, let's suppose in a lot of television program, you've seen this thing, the crane is moving. There is the cross movement within the frame. So when the camera is moving like this, so this is all about the crane movement. Okay, so this is the crane movement is you can go for the high angle to the low angle. Okay, with the help of movement, what you can do, you can change the angle within the frame. Okay, let's suppose with the help of crane, the crane is moving from this angle, that they are showing the high angle, which means initially that character is inferior, and then camera moves downward. Normally in music videos, you can see this thing, that within the one frame, within the one shot, angle is changing. The angle is changing with the help of movement. And normally the crane is going to help you to change the high angle to the low angle. Okay, for the panning also, or you can say that for the panning purpose, you can use dolly also usually the panning is usually static. The camera is on one place and just moving like this and that. Okay, whenever you want to show someone entering in a room, you can go with this movement, pan movement. Okay, so afterwards, as we move forward, handheld movement is also considered as a movement when you are having a camera in hand and just moving. So it could be like that. There is something which is called zoom, reverse zoom. we don't encourage initially to have this purpose. Zoom is zoom in, zoom out. It's just like that. Okay, zoom and reverse zoom. In media term, you say zoom or reverse zoom. Reverse zoom is this, and zoom is that. Means you are going for the zoom in, zoom out. Okay, so now we are moving forward. Whenever you are going for any framing, you need to go for this. We need to plan something. Whenever you are going for this purpose, we'll do the activity tomorrow, inshallah, to add on all these things. We'll do the initially we'll do the handheld. If you're having the steady cam, or if you're having the tripod, is good. Otherwise, we need to go for the handheld. We'll do a complete project for this purpose also. Okay. Now, one very important thing is all about, we discussed the idea of focus defocus. Okay, focus defocus is very important thing. We need to understand this thing, that focus and defocus is a very important thing. Sometimes you want to portray one object, and you want to create some blur impact on the subject. So foreground or background, you can play with the foreground and foreground and the background. So whenever you want to change the image, let's suppose this is your foreground and this is your background. Okay, sometimes you want to go for this blur image and you want to focus it, and sometimes if you want to change this, you want to change the focus. Okay, you want to blur this and focus this. So it could happen like this. Okay, so sometimes one object is talking and another object is listening. So whoever is listening, you are going to blur them, and whoever is talking, you are going to focus them. So you can go with that focus pulls. There's a pub guy in the crew who used to do the focus puller. Okay, we have a focus puller. There's a device out there. Okay, so afterwards, I always suggest you one thing. There's one of my suggestions to you. There's a depth of field. There's a concept of depth of field. Okay, let's suppose the distance between your object and the last wall is a depth of field. Depth of field is a very important thing. Whenever, sometimes you need to blur it, sometimes you need to focus it, sometimes you need to blur it, sometimes you need to focus it. Whenever, if you are going for the shallow depth of field, it's a good frame. Narrow depth of field is not a good frame. I'm going for the narrow one. Okay, if I'm going coming out and there is a more distance between me and the last wall, it would be good shot. Okay, as I'm just talking, whenever you are going for any interview shot, you can go with this shot, but try to have some good depth of field. This will give you a good time, good lighting. You can have a good things in whenever I will take some classes in my studio, so I will definitely share something with you guys. Okay, so this is all about the basic elements of the camera. Okay, we'll develop a whole study tomorrow for this purpose to utilize this thing. But now I want to share one very important thing to you guys. And this week we are just going to have we are just going to familiarize ourselves with some technical stuff. Actually, this technical stuff is very important to understand the media language. Actually, media language is a topic which is also you can implement this topic into AS and A2s. Media language is one of the core important topics. So to understand the media language stuff, we need to study these things. Okay, once we are able to study these things, then we are able to study the whole syllabus. Till now, I just initiate the discussion related to syllabus. I know one thing, that I didn't disclose each and everything related to the syllabus because you don't know about it. First, we need to understand some basic elements. These are the, you can also say this thing, this is the camera techniques and the movement and camera shot and camera angle is more about the idea of what this is also considered as a technical codes. Okay, with the help of this thing, the director used to share some ideas, director want to share some perception, director want to share some stories. Actually, we all are storytellers. Okay, and we need, as a director, we need to use different codes, or you can say the technical codes, or you can say language codes, or you can say the verbal codes or non-verbal codes. We'll discuss it later on, don't you worry about it. Okay, so we need to use this language, we need to use this media language to portray something. And once we are able to decode this thing, because actually the thing is what we are doing, why we are doing, actually there is something which is called denotation and connotation. We discuss the idea that we'll discuss it later on in a detail, but first we need to understand this thing. Denotation is all about literal meaning of something. Okay, and connotation is all about the perceived meaning of something. That, let's suppose a director is using a high angle, so denotation of what the people will connote that idea that object is inferior. I hope the things well okay now. The director used the high angle to denote the idea that particular object is inferior. Okay, the director is using this angle, okay, just to create this impact. And if the audience is convert that particular idea, the audience are perceiving the similar idea that this character is inferior. So this thing is very important in filmmaking. This is all about the media language, okay. Another component of the media language is all about sound, because these things are very important to study the textual analysis, okay, before if you go for that. So for the textual analysis, the second element is sound. Within the camera, light is also included, but now we'll discuss light later on, okay. Sound is a very important thing to understand anything. Actually, with the help of sound, you are going to create a mood. Actually, mood is very important for the film. You can say it's a backbone of your film, of any storytelling. Let's suppose if I'm saying something, if I'm sharing a story with you guys, and you are having a background music related to the mood of the story, the things will be on. The things will be very good. But let's suppose if the music is not compatible with or sound is not compatible with my story, so what will happen? It would be a negative impact on the storytelling ability. So the filmmaking is more about the storytelling. So we need to use the sound techniques and sound tactics to sort it out, okay. Sometime footstep movement, if you're not adding that footstep movement, because in usual ways, whenever we are shooting, so it is very difficult to capture the footsteps, okay, because you must have to carry additional mic and for this purpose. So most of the time we are not having that particular thing. So but the thing is this, but once we are going for the edit, we need to add this thing, okay. We need to add that particular sound, and that thing is going to give you a feel within the film, okay. Just do one thing, just shoot your footsteps, okay, and first listen it like this, that there's nothing like that, there's nothing like without any audio. Just think, listen one time, and afterwards just add some footstep movement. You can feel that footstep movement, someone is stepping within your mind, okay. So this thing is very important. Sound is one of the most essential part of your filmmaking. There are two types of sound. We'll tomorrow, next to next class, I will definitely go for some writing notes, and I will definitely give you some writing notes. Don't you worry about it. You will get each and everything within my notes. Don't you worry about it. But first you need to understand this thing, what is this and what is that, because in exam you will not face any definition of what is meant by diegetic sound, what is meant by non-diegetic sound. You will not receive any definition. You just need to know about it, that this sound is diegetic, this sound is non-diegetic, okay. Diegetic sound is a sound which is considered as what? Diegetic sound is a sound which is within the frame of the film, okay. Within the action within the frame. Let's suppose if you can feel this thing. There's a sound. This is diegetic sound, okay. You can feel this thing. But if I'm going to play a music behind, let's suppose if I'm going to start a background music, so what will happen? It's a very simple thing. The background music is non-diegetic sound. I'm going to add some music to create a feel, okay. Non-diegetic sound is a sound which is not within the frame, and diegetic sound is a frame is a sound of an action. It's a sound of an action. Once you can feel this thing, let's suppose this sound, let's suppose this, you can feel this movement, this shot, okay. So sometime we need to add, we used to call it during the production, we used to call it foley, okay. Just search one thing on your YouTube, you'll get a lot of videos on it. The foley artists are one of the most important artists in sound design. Actually, what they used to do, they used to add on the sound. Let's suppose if a character is moving, if a girl with the heel is moving, they will add the particular sound within the film. So this is very important. If the horses are moving, they will add up the sound, okay. How they will do so, you can see that this is a complete different field. The foley artists are totally different. So this is very important job in the filmmaking, because they used to do a lot of they used to work hard to create the sound of particular object. So that is all about dietic sound. And another is non-dietic sound, the additional sound. Let's suppose to create a mood or feel within the frame. Let's suppose if the horses are moving and you are going to add on the some upbeat music, it could be like that. So this is the feel like someone is coming and something big is going to be happen. So it is just like that. And whenever you are going to add the music with the horses and horses are moving fast, this is not compatible with the sound, with the visuals. So you need, your visuals should be compatible with the background music. Both things should synchronize. If you did the both things are not synchronized, it's not a good idea. So this will definitely create a bad impact for your audiences. Okay, so sometime your beat is linked with the cuts. Okay, so if your character is moving fast, your music should be very fast. Okay, if the character is moving slow, let's suppose, just imagine this thing. If I am going to use some slow mo shots that of the horses and moving very slow, and you can see there is a sound out there, it would be synchronized. It would be synchronized. But if I'm using the similar sound for the purpose of the fast moving horses, it would be negative for the audience. The audience don't like it. Okay, so this is all about the basic idea of this thing. Okay, so sometimes we need to go for the sound effects, additional sound effects, which is very important to create a feel. The basic purpose of each and every media language code is all about the media language component, or you can say that the code is to create a good storytelling. Our core purpose is all about it. I don't feel good when the students are just focusing on these technical sides and they are not focusing on the story. Keep this thing in your mind. Your story will last longer. Your shots may not. Okay, shots are very important. Shots are very good. Your good shots are always. I have always regard the good shots with a very good thing. But the audience love your story. They want to know the story. Why they are spending 5 to 10 minutes just to watch your short film. The reason is they just want to know about your story, and you need to know about it, how to portray my story well. So these are, if you're having good shots, if you're having good sound, synchronized sound, so this will help you a lot. Okay, sometimes we need to know about it. Sometimes we need to go for the dialogues, and sometimes we need to go to voiceover. Let's say for the narration purpose, sometimes we need to go for the voiceover. We can also say VO, and we can sometimes we have to use dialogues within the scene. Okay, so dialogues, how to capture the dialogues is a very good thing. There's a lot of questions students ask me how to capture the dialogues. There are multiple ways. There is a mic. There's the cheapest mic. If you ever say, there's a Boya mic. There's a double mic of the Boya. You can use it to capture the dialogues, and you can connect that mic with the phones also. There is no problem. If you want to have it, you can have it. It's a very cheap one. So it's not more than 3,000 and 4,000. And if you want to use a single Boya mic, you can use that one also. That is around 1,500. You can get it from the Hashmi Photos Sadar. So it would be good if you're having this thing. It's a very good thing to capture dialogues, and voiceovers are very important. Okay. Sometimes you need to go for the voiceovers, or this is one thing is also called, this is called ADR. Okay, ADR is a means when once we are going for the dubbing purpose. Okay, dubbing is also considered whenever, let's suppose, you are not able to capture the dialogues well, the sound was not perfect, and there's a, or you can say there is a humming out there, or you can see that, you can say I'm sorry. Sometimes there is a lot of noise out there, so you need to go for the dubbing purpose, or you can say ADR. Okay, so you need to re-record the dialogues with the lip movement. So that is very important. A little bit difficult, but I don't suggest you guys to go for the ADR at this point, because you guys are not able to get the perfect expressions. Okay, so soundtrack, sound scores are very important. Sound scores, we need to go for that purpose also. We need to go for the incidental music. Okay, this is very important. Okay, so this is all about the one very important thing is that is all about ambient sound. Ambient sound is a sound of the location. Let's suppose if I'm going, if there's a scene of a jungle, I need to add on some jungle sound, ambient sound. So yeah, you can say the environment. Okay, so you need to go for it sometime. If I'm going to shoot something somewhere in the street, I need to add on, but I need to manage the levels of that particular thing, and that noise also. So sometimes that thing is going to create an impression within individual's mind that this is that, and this is why we are shooting this purpose. Okay, so this is all about the basic idea of sound and the basic idea of camera. Okay, I hope the things are okay, and we can move forward. In the next class, we will discuss some ideas related to the mise-en-scene, and we'll discuss some basic ideas about editing, because these core elements are very important. Once you are able to know about these things, then we are able to I am able to share the syllabus with you. I'm able to share multiple things with you. Have a very nice day. Take care. Allah Hafiz.